How do there, fellow travellers? It is I, Captain Steve, and today I'm here with No Man's Sky. This is Back to Basics, and this is a station tour. Heck yes, I'm going to walk you round a station. So right down here are the landing pads. This is where the ships land. There you go, 101, done. Well, let's head on up here. Now, over to the left-hand side, over up this way, is a ship scrapping unit. Yes, you can also apply upgrades to your ship here as well. Make sure you choose the right options, because if you've got more than one ship, at the moment I've only got one ship, it won't let me scrap one ship because you're not walking out of here. You just drift off into space and die. So yeah, they don't let you scrap your one ship if you've only got one ship. Once you've got two ships, you can accidentally scrap them. So be careful that you don't select the wrong option, okay? So, brilliant. Now, there is a guide in here when you hit up where do you find upgrades. It gives you a hint where to find upgrades. It says go to the technology merchants. We'll be going to the technology merchants in a moment, so stay tuned, don't go away, and I'll show you the technology merchants. Righto, so brilliant, that's that unit. That is for upgrading or scrapping your ship. This one here is for changing the cosmetic look of your character and banner. Your banner actually just shows up when you pick up missions. It doesn't show up on like your save selection screen. Heck, it'd be awesome if it freaking did, but it doesn't. Yes, yeah, it's a little bit of it's a little gripe of mine for some time, to be fair. Now, there's a lot of presets in here, but you can go to town and actually go into each individual level and really personalise the look of your character there. I almost made a stormtrooper with a red helmet, which looks quite funky. I guess it did. Anyhow, this area here, you can actually upgrade you can only use this once per station. You go there and you can upgrade your slottage. You can choose whether you want that in technology or cargo just by tabbing across using the R1 button on PlayStation. And this is a technology vendor. So this is one technology vendor. Now, he will sell upgrades to your exosuit, so that's your hazard protection, and your life support, yes, also your movement, so you can get upgrades for your jetpack, so you can move faster and longer. And when we get to the Nexus, there's actually one to give you rocket boots to make you double jump. But we get to the Nexus and, the anomaly, I call it the Nexus because that's the mission cube in the middle. But we get to that later on. Anyway, you can buy modules from these guys. There's going to be a C class, a B class, A class and S class. S class is the best, and the others in descending order. And yeah, they're going to be different prices. The S classes are extremely expensive. There's a guy here who also sells modules for the exocrafts. We haven't got an exocraft yet. We haven't even touched on exocraft, so I'm not going to bother blowing your fragile little minds with that yet. But I will do later. If you see these little orange cubes, blue cubes, or little round flat hockey puck type things, grab them. You're going to get free navigational data. Everyone loves navigational data. Heck yes, they do. Now this merchant, you can see he's got a spaceship behind him. Guess what he sells? He sells modules for your starship. Yes, he does. Awesome. So you're going to get new pulse drives, you're going to get launch thrusters, so you don't have to use so much fuel. He's got an S-Class one of them. I would like it. Can't afford it. There's also hyperdrive when you jump in systems. A photon cannon. Want to come back for that as well. And we've also got starship shield modules in S2. I like all of those modules. I want them. I want all of your modules, my friend. And then over here is a multi-tool cabinet. Always check the multi-tool cabinets because there might be one better than yours. This isn't much more improved. Yeah, it says it is, it's not. And there's a merchant here, and he also sells modules for your multi-tool. So you can buy new geology cannon modules or whatever. I quite like the scatter blaster, is my favourite module. Yep, there's a scanner one here, so scanning animals and scanning plants is going to give you extra sort of units. Scanning rocks, no, it doesn't affect rock prices for some reason, which is a bit of a... Yeah, they need a geology scanner maybe or something, because you don't get much for scanning rocks, so people don't bother scanning the rocks. I don't know why it doesn't give you more money for scanning the rocks. It's a bit of a weird one, that. Anyway, there's also a screen here where you can upgrade your actual multi-tool in slottage and in its class. So I think it'd be nicer if you could upgrade class through use. So the more you use a multi-tool, and the more you use a ship, I wish it went up in levels. Just like the frigates do. We haven't touched on frigates or freighters yet. We will do in another episode coming soon. This is a scrap vendor. These came around last Halloween, not 2021 but 2020, and they actually will give you stuff in return of tainted metal. You only get tainted metal by running derelict freighters. Going to have to give you a guide on derelict freighters, aren't I? Yes, I am. Yeah, so that's going to come later as well. So all this other stuff, you can see that it's free, it's available to me because I've bought it in other saves. So things that you buy in other saves carry over to these ones when it comes to Quicksilver items or the tainted metal items, as a heads up. Right, but you probably have no idea what I'm on about. Well, yeah, just hold on to your seats because there's going to be a lot more guides coming. I'm looking for the orange cubes and the blue cubes and little flat discs. Sadly, I don't find any flat discs inside of this station to show you, but here's a blue cube. It looks just like the orange cube. It's just blue. Yep, and sometimes you're going to get nanites, sometimes you're going to get navigational data. Now, heading into here, we've got a minibar. How lovely is that? Now, there's lots of little WAD cubes on the side. What do? Nothing. They're freaking lights, okay? You can't pick those up. You can chat to these little chaps up here. So this guy is a Gek. The Gek are quite a small sort of reptilian-looking race with beaks. And they've often got freaking screws and metal plates screwed to their faces. It looks painful, but it's a fashion accessory of the Gek. You may even see them wearing hubcaps on their heads. Yes, they're trendy little guys. Yes, they are. But yes, you can chat to them if you want. But normally the people in this room, you can recruit for your base to be actually on your base at terminals. But we'll get to that later too. This is a Galactic Trade Terminal interface. A Galactic Trade Terminal interfaces, you can buy things and sell things. You can switch your infantry by pressing square to swap to your ship. Once you've got a freighter, you can even swap to your freighter. And you can sell stuff into the Galactic Trade Terminals or buy things and they will jump into whichever repository you've got selected. So yes, if you're wondering, where did that go when I bought it? Yeah, you've probably got to press square. It's probably in your ship or in your freighter. Yeah, so I'm selling some of the stuff that is a little bit useless. And with the money, I want to buy myself some ion batteries and also some life support gel to save me the hassle of having to craft the stuff. I'm going to even sell my Jade Peas because the Jade Peas fetch a lot of units. For just selling those Jade Peas, I could buy stacks of ion batteries and stacks of the life support gel. So that's a little tip for you. Another thing that also gets you quite a lot of units is if you've killed any creatures, the leg meat or the creature meat gets you a lot of units. But we'll get to that in a bit. Anyhow, there's a door off of this room that is sealed. You need an Atlas Pass level 3. And you're probably thinking, wow, I can't wait to get a level 3 Atlas Pass. And that probably opens up another part of the station. Maybe there's more landing pads and awesome ships land there or something. No, that room has usually got some plants in it that you can't even harvest or something, or a broken up sentinel on a workbench with no parts you can harvest or something. It's an eye candy room that does fudging nothing. Sometimes you get a remembrance terminal in there which gives you lore, but it's kind of endgamey type lore, so yeah, that's probably why they stuck it behind a door. You've also got this. This is a station override terminal, and for it you need an override code or an override station override chip. I've got a station override chip. It does fudging nothing. It got awarded to us in Expedition 3, and it still does nothing. It does nothing. We've had an Expedition 4 in between then, and we've had a whole year. Well, it's been about 8 months. Yeah, I like to over-exaggerate sometimes, people. But yeah, it's got no use right now. Hopefully I'll do a video on it when it has got a use. There we go. I'm chatting to a Gek. Now, you can choose Request Dialogue Help. They will teach you one word. One word. Per alien. Yeah, so you talk to all these guys up here and you can learn some words. Does learning words give you discounts? No, it doesn't. You can't barter or anything like that. And the ships that land here, you can actually buy those ships from these little aliens. So let's go and hit up this Gek and we're going to say, make an offer on the lifeform ship. It sounds like you're going to be bartering. It even says, negotiate a price. You go in, you get 2 prices. There's no bartering, there's no discount if you know the lingo or anything like that. They need to tie those systems together. Sorry, I'm having a little rant in between this tutorial. But yeah, this is how you can buy ships and get a different ship. However, you can also do this at trading posts, but we'll cover those off another time. And you can repair ships you find. But you can buy stuff and sell stuff to these guys. I'm going to buy his tritium. Because, tritium, however you pronounce it, it's fuel for your ship. Yes, I'm buying that to save me having to shoot a shed load of asteroids. However, shooting asteroids is quite a good form of revenue because you get silver, you get gold, you get platinum sometimes, which is quite good to sell the stuff. Or you can keep it because it's quite good for actually decking out your freighter once you get one. or making yourself some solar panels, which we're going to have to do at some point as well. You can see here, over on the left-hand side there, it shows the actual class of the actual system. It's not a wealthy system. It's not going to have fantastical ships flying in. It's probably not going to have an exotic ship, for example. You usually find the wealthy systems have more chance of dropping an exotic ship. There is a chance an exotic will still fly into a system like this, but it's really small seed-in spawn rates. Heck yes. Yeah, well, I've been told by people that you can still get exotics in these systems. However, myself, I wouldn't stand around long enough to wait, to be fair. Right, okay, so this room over here is completely empty. If you're inside a Viking system, sometimes you might find a machine on the wall that has nanites, either in this side or the opposite side. In a Gex system, you got nothing on the walls apart from a galactic trade terminal at the opposite side. Righto, so these big guys walking around, they're known as the Viking. And yes, they may have horns and look quite demony, like this guy. Hello there, I'm loving your purple skin and white sort of flagging under your eyes. Very dapper. I'm loving your golden armour as well. Very fetching. I love the Viking armour set, especially the metal sort of bandings around the arms and stuff. It looks like something out of Iron Man. Freaking excellent armour. Anyhow, you've got another galactic trade terminal here that looks like a laundrette on the wall. Yes, so you can buy and sell things there. We've already explained what it does. Apart from you've got a couple of commodities at the top that you don't get on the galactic trade terminal at the opposite side. These are what the system's known for. So you know where it's, well, I showed you earlier where it said there was an unwealthy system. It's like if you go to a system that's to do with mining, you might get dirt there, which is quite good for recolouring your pet creatures. Yes, you can get pet creatures. Right, that's a mission agent, but because I haven't upped my actual faction ratings with anybody yet, I can't get any missions. This is a guild envoy. There's no guilds in game, so he's pretty redundant. Sometimes when you first visit a station, you will get given something from this guy, but it's usually something cack. There's 3 badges on the side there. Going from the right to left, you've got Gek, you've got Viking, then Korvax. I haven't shown you what a Korvax looks like yet, but you can kind of tell that it looks kind of robotic from the icon. Yes, they're robots, basically. This chap is a cartographer. He's going to sell you maps. Well, not sell you. He's going to swap you maps for navigational data. Those blue cubes and orange cubes and little flat discs, you can swap the navigational data you're getting from those for charts of planets. And there's different types, and hopefully I'm going to cover those off in a more detailed sort of video. But yeah, awesome in finding your way around for the different building types on planet surfaces. So quite a lot to take in, isn't there, inside of this station? I'm like, yeah, that needs a video, that needs a video, that needs a video. I've already got videos on all this stuff. If you just go on YouTube and type in Captain Steve planet chart, or navigational data, or Captain Steve freighter, Captain Steve frigate, or Captain Steve exocraft, you're going to find loads of videos that I've done. I've got over 1,000 freaking videos, people, so you just try it, knock yourself out. So this sort of video that I'm doing here is a rehash and a regurgitation of videos, because I made assumptions that people knew things before they get to this stage, mainly because I had a previous channel, which was my first channel, which I sadly had to get rid of. Anyway, that's a station teleporter. Once you've got bases and visited more stations, you're going to get more things appearing on there, and this is fast travel system. You can jump back to your bases or jump back to previous stations that you've visited. So every time I do a jump, even if I'm not too keen on the system, and if I ever want to go back there, I make sure I touch ground inside of a station, jump out of your ship. And it creates a save, it adds it to your list inside of your server space. So there we go, people, that's the station tour. Until next time, we'll be pushing on with the story. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe, and I'd like to say a massive, great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers! And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.